October 25th, 2021, my dad and I decided to take our yearly father-son trip to the East Coast. We had arrived in Jacksonville late last night and woke up the next morning in hopes of getting something on the FEC. No luck. We even tried the St. Johns River Bridge, and all we got was a crane taking up the main line. That's strike two. We tried Crawford, Florida at the interlocking. I had never been here before, but again, no luck. We had just missed the morning rush by about 30 minutes. That was strike three. I knew something was coming though. Amtrak.
Amtrak 9782 South Track 1. Clear Callahan.
We get to Callahan as Amtrak's Silver Meteor Train 97 speeds south on its Miami run with its next station stop just ahead in Jacksonville. So we started the day with Amtrak. That's not too bad, but things were just starting to heat up on the CSX A line. Moving to the South Hilliard control point, we had southbound CSX train Q44124 lined down track 1. They were in the distance passing through downtown Hilliard. We also had northbound train Q452 in the distance on track 2. I knew we had a meet coming to us, but I didn't know it was going to be this close.
CSX 3134 got a clear south here, track 2, we moving north, CSX TQ 45223 out.
Railroad's Honoring First Responders Unit number 911 was in the consist of Q452, making for a nice surprise, as well as a high and wide generator load on the head end. I guess we could say we found the right place at the right time. As Q452 cleared the crossing, the Q441 still moved slowly with its beast of a train towards Baldwin and points south towards Tampa. They were on a 25-mile-an-hour speed restriction at South Hilliard. Dad and I were then invited by my friend Tom Imley to visit his place in Bologna, Florida. His front yard? The CSX A-line. You couldn't have asked for a perfect place to live by the tracks. He's got a radio wired up on his front porch, hearing everything rail between Jacksonville and Folkston. But just as a disclaimer, this is a private residence. We had a little southbound parade heading our way, as well as a northbound hotshot departing Jacksonville. At 13:15, here came train Q453, daily Waycross to Miami manifest. Minutes behind them was train I-03124, led by a YN2 AC44CW GE locomotive. This train usually runs overnight. It was very odd to see them passing through in daylight. CSX had been in the process of updating the lettering of their train symbols. The intermodal trains were the first to be affected, from starting with a Q to an I. This was my first catch of an I-series train since the change. Then came train I-032 at 1400, speeding down track 2. With such high priority, these trains can go up to 70 miles an hour. This train looked to be going about 60 to 65. At 1407 came train NO13, a loaded coal train out of Atkinson, Kentucky for Bostwick, Florida. I found to my surprise that a CSX SD70 Mac was running as mid-train DP on this train. This specific SD70 Mac was rebuilt to support distributed power, running either in the middle or on the rear of the train. This was a first for me, seeing an SD70 running mid-train.
No defects. Total axle 3, minor 4, train length, item 1.
Here was another surprise. On top of the 115 car-long coal train was A764's train out of Waycross. I'd guess A764 was annulled today due to a shortage of crews. The additional 96 cars made this monster a whopping 211 cars in total. Then at 14:47, train Q203 speeds south for Baldwin with its load of autoracks. My thanks goes out to Tom for the invite and allowing us to visit his property. Dad and I then arrive in Folkston, Georgia, with the blazing hot sun popping out behind the rainstorm and humidity levels at its highest. We had set up a canopy tent over one of the tables, making ourselves at home. We would spend the rest of the day and throughout the night here waiting to see what CSX would run. There was a little dead spell on the rails until 1624.
440, miles, motor 30. 454, limited clear post, turn out Jacksonville, Nahunta.
Train Q44125, the second Q441 of the day, would be our first train in Folkston, wasting no time heading southbound. A medium approach medium signal then lights up on track 2 for train Q202, switching over from the Nahunta to the Jessup subdivision towards Waycross. Folkston used to be hot for trains, but traffic has since declined. CSX now only has about 20 scheduled trains a day, including 2 to 4 unit trains and 6 Amtrak trains. You could have easily seen 60 plus trains a day through here back then. But even today, this location is still a great place to visit, attracting many across the country. They have lodging available right at the tracks, so you won't miss a single train. unless you're a hard sleeper. All CSX traffic serving Florida runs right through the heart of downtown Folkston, hence why they call this place the Folkston Funnel. But what attracts everyone to this very spot, I'm sure, is Amtrak's Auto Train, which we'll get to see here later on. It felt good to be back at the Folkston Funnel since my last visit in 2016.
Clear both the CSX bus motor 586 out.
Next, at 1738, train I-039 muscles southbound on the A-line towards Jacksonville. This is Sunday's version of train I-037 running out of Charlotte with a straight shot south. No work is to be performed along its route. Daylight starts to fade with the next train movement at 1846. Train I-025 comes off of the Jessup Subdivision Jacksonville bound with daily intermodal traffic out of Bedford Park in Chicago. Now here's why everyone loves Folkston. At 1919, we get to witness Amtrak's Auto Train, one of the most unique passenger trains there is. This is Train 52. They're through here daily as part of its over 17-hour journey running out of Sanford, Florida, non-stop to Lorton, Virginia. Not too far behind was Amtrak Train 98, the northbound Silver Meteor, running a little over 2.5 hours late today. Another dead spell hit until 2133. A 13.8 thousand foot long I-026 was northbound through Folkston, and they were having some engine trouble along the way. Their second engine was dead in tow, and only one motor had dynamic brakes. The situation would get resolved once they get to Waycross. The power on this train is the exact same consist we saw on I-031 earlier today. On top of the one boxcar they had, they were struggling to pull 213 platforms. They were mostly empty on the rear, but with the engine trouble, it took them almost 7 minutes to pass Folkston. At 22:53, train Q603 muscles south coming off of the Jessup Sub heading for Winston, Florida via Baldwin. They were running with one engine up front and one engine serving as distributed power mid-train. 30 minutes later, Amtrak's northbound Silver Star is lined through the turnout, while CSX train Q455 comes onto the A line. This is daily freight traffic out of Waycross bound for Orlando's Taft Yard.
Milepost 610.6. Track 2. No defects. No defects. Total axle 36. Train lane 708. Speed 77. End of transmission.
Speeding out of the darkness comes Amtrak Silver Star Train 92, surprisingly having a Dash 8 GE in the consist. You can hear the horn of CSX train I-143 around Hague. Then came train I-143, daily intermodal traffic out of Louisville, Kentucky for Jacksonville's Duval Yard. Train I-038 makes noise through Folkston just before midnight with a pair of YN2 painted AC-44CWs moving at speed. It's now 2:59 in the morning. My dad and I were camping out in my car when I awoke to radio chatter of train Q220 coming northbound. Crossings then activate, breaking the midnight silence as they pass through Folkston. ended up going back to sleep after they passed. I woke up again around 4:30 with more radio chatter. CSX was at it again. Train I-142 approaches Folkston turning towards Waycross, while pig train I-03125 is approaching Homeland. The intermodal traffic holds southbound train Q453, who is stopping at the turnout. Tail of I-142 passed, the I-03125 speeds towards the turnout as they round out their trip towards Jacksonville. Then came train Q45325 with the Honoring First Responders Unit 911 on the point. They turned that engine around pretty quickly. I was fooled at first with the K5LA horn replacing its RS5T, but the YN2 CW40-9 was a nice added touch. Day or night, I'm very satisfied with this capture. This was the train of the trip for me. That defect detector was for Amtrak Auto Train number 53, who wasn't too far behind the Q453. They're passing Folkston just after 5 a.m.
Limited clear, folks. Turn out. 1-1, north out.
At this point, the overnight trains just kept on getting better and better. At 5:40, train K422 muscles north with the CSX ES44AC on the point and a trio of Kansas City Southern motors. They were combined with train Q442 section up front and K422 section on the rear, being they both come from Tampa. Then came Amtrak's southbound Silver Star Train 91. Engine number 160, one of their new 50th anniversary heritage units, was in the consist.
track 2 to track 1, lead in CSX T3450 southbound.
Train Q203-23 follows behind Amtrak coming off of the Jessup sub. This train is quite a few days behind schedule. Right around sunrise at 0730, train Q604 muscles northbound as they turn towards Waycross. Oh 0851, train A76425 was running today. They're seen passing Folkston heading back to Jacksonville on its Waycross turn as a group of guys gather in front of the tracks. I don't know if they're rail fans, but they sure did look like they were enjoying their morning. Amtrak 97, the southbound Silver Meteor, was following close behind the A764 speeding down Track 1. Dad and I then broke for breakfast at the Okefenokee restaurant, a local place here in Folkston. I was too hungry to show my food, but mark my words, it was delicious. Everything is cooked to order and perfection. We get back to the tracks after just missing Q45224 going north through the funnel. We ended up chasing them, getting ahead to the Kingfisher Landing road crossing off of the CSX Subdivision. They would be going through that thing, a train inspection portal, or TIP for short. This device has 23 cameras, and it scans and captures images of every single train car, even at track speed, providing a 360-degree picture that can show any defect that may need attention. Built and released in December of 2019, this location was the perfect place to install such a device, especially with Waycross being the largest rail yard on the CSX system. Behind Q45224 was train A764-23. This train must have been held in Jacksonville for a crew to be called. We moved up to CP's South End Race Pond as the Georgia Railroad sticker unit number 3415 leads the way to Waycross. We got a nice little horn show from the engineer as they approached our location.
Total axle 6 minor 2 train length
we caught A764, CSX officially went dead. No other trains ran in over 2 hours. It was about that time for us to start heading north, but there was one more train on the Norfolk Southern that would round out our trip. Thanks to the tips from Andrew Stevenson, we made a detour on our route home and managed to catch NS Train 229 in the middle of nowhere, Florida. The Pennsylvania Heritage Unit, number 8102, was on the point of this hotshot intermodal, but seemed to be over 7 hours late getting into Jacksonville. I must say, with the trains we caught in the past 27 hours, I'm very pleased with what ran from all railroads. Let's see where Dad and I will end up next. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. See y'all next time from Baxter, Florida at milepost 221.5 letter G along Norfolk Southern's Valdosta District.